All right, this is my journal. I'll have to write it in my book. First thing in the morning at cold, I started it up and I got white smoke, which is a good condition because that's basically oxygen and water trying to heat up the motor under pressure. So I got white smoke, and by the time it went to warm, it was getting closer to warm. The white smoke went away, and I like what I saw after I took the drive in about 5 miles away. Now we know we're at warm temperatures. You could say even hot temperatures. And I went to level ground, and at idle, this needle here was hovering at the 1, which I like that look. So this was short of the 1 on the idle. And this was all the way up in that condition, which is good because if I was racing in a dry sump, we want this thing to toggle down. So go closer to red if I'm gunning, and the oil should be drying out of the sump. So the thing is, to do an oil test, I need to go back to the dipstick, which is on the back right, and that dipstick needs to be pulled while at idle. And at idle, I noticed that I'm 1/8 of a quart high on the marker, where we need to target to get that oil level down between the full and the empty to be at the sweet spot. Now, I felt like I was on level ground, but I heard that is very much has to be perfect. So I would probably do a test with the level gauge next time, but I am not going to race today because I'm assuming if I'm over 1/8, which is technically a quart high at the test, most likely I could do some damage to the engine in terms of I would get oil seeping up through the intake valve that would go into the pistons, cause some fouling, and then we got problems with emissions and what have you. So misfiring. So let's go back into our mechanics document and see what happens when we have too much oil. So what I need to do is there's 3 options, and on ChatGPT, on Gemini, it works really good to figure out how to get back to the normal condition. But of course, we're mechanics. So the first thing you do is think about safety. I do not want to race my car today until I get to the garage. And I want to take most likely a siphon, which is the easiest thing. My siphon's coming in the UPS this morning anyway. So when I get on home, I could siphon out, which is the easiest way to get back to my condition. Now, there's no such thing as being perfect with getting this oil right, but there is a way that we should always work as a disciplined mechanic. We have to rely on safety. This is a 4-minute video, and this is my first day 1 into the Cars and Coffee, and I'm taking my time, my sweet time, to figure out my best safe path every day while I'm in retirement. So again, I'm a retired aviation mechanic, good for life, and I did not sign 1 job card off of that career only because that was my fun job after coming out of computer engineering. Working at Apple Computer, I hoarded my stock and became retired very quickly. Relatively 10 years in my career, where some people just like to go for lifer, but I knew when I was being raised at my dad's barbershop, that's not the thing. Just get in, get out, get the pension, and go.